Hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back here in East Vineland, New Jersey on Kubota Farm. Happy Saturday morning. Hope you all had a really good week and are ready for a nice relaxing weekend. We got plastered with some snow in my area, so yeah, almost a foot if that's considered. I'm not sure if that's considered a lot for you or not, but it was enough to definitely change the environment around here, that's for sure. Lots of snow to deal with, but we are inside playing Farming Simulator, and look at this little thing I picked up. Not exactly the most North American item in the world. In fact, I made the I made the lettering the same color as the as the I don't know what you call that, the bin. Just so it didn't stand out too much like a sore thumb, because I think it's pretty, I don't know what it is, if it's Russian or Ukrainian or what. I'm pretty bad with recognizing areas like based on lettering. But anyways, what this thing is a straw pickup and a grass pickup and so on and so forth. It's kind of like a forage wagon, but not a wagon. More like a forage bucket. I thought we'd give it a go. It looked like fun. It looked like something different. It looks like something a little more interesting for our farm than just grabbing a forage wagon. I also did a little investigatory work, and thanks to a couple people who left comments about this from the last episode. So I was trying to figure out why we weren't getting any nitrogen from mulching. Well, apparently with precision farming, you don't get nitrogen from mulching. However, you do get nitrogen from straw. So when I was harvesting, had I spread the straw, from my understanding, had I spread the straw, we would have gotten what is it, 20, I don't know, 20 points, I don't know what you call it, of 20 kilograms of nitrogen. So you do get a nitrogen bump from spreading straw, but not with straw windrows and not from mulching. So there's that. At least that's my understanding. I checked out a couple more Driver 53 videos he had done, which I thought were really good, and he showed how he was getting some nitrogen bump from spreading straw. Maybe we'll give that a go next time. Oops, but for this time we really don't need this mulcher, so we can return it. Um, we might as well return it because we don't need to mulch. We might as well just cultivate, more or less. So let's do this. Let's return that. Not a big deal, not a big loss, no problem there. But before we do set up or cultivating that field, because this field we do need to prep. Our big field over here is prepped. Our field back, I guess, what would you call that? Which direction am I looking at? Am I looking north or south or east or west? I'm looking north. So yeah, the north 40 over there is prepped as well. We don't really need this dually, so we're not going to use it. It's kind of overkill for... It's kind of overkill for that thing right there. I think that thing's actually listed at like 50 horsepower, so it does not take much. And since it is just 50 horsepower, we don't get a lot of use out of our little baby M5 over here. So maybe we can grab this little guy, drop our tedder down there. Is that a tedder? Yeah, that's a tedder, right? And let's go over and pick up our forage. I really don't know what to call it. Forage bucket, forage conveyor into bucket thing. And let's give it a shot. Why not? Now, it doesn't exactly have the cleanest log. I don't know if actually... Yeah, there's a few warnings when it comes to this thing. Actually, I can probably show you better this way, but there's nothing serious from what I could tell. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I picked this thing up out on what was it? King Mods, I think. Actually, no. Actually, that doesn't look that bad right there. It doesn't look like anything. Maybe it was another mod that I was thinking of. That actually looks pretty clean. All right, we'll take it. Let's pick this bad boy up. I thought I'd do a, this may not be the longest episode in the world. I thought I'd do a recording for Saturday morning, so I always like to try and do something for a Saturday morning. And then, boy, that thing looks big on this little M5, kind of, doesn't it, though? But I think the little M5 will do the job. The only thing I think that this little Kubota might have problems with is when this thing gets full. I don't know. We'll find out. But let's see how it does. If not, then we'll just grab we'll grab a 6 or a 7 and run with that. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a really good weekend. I plan on playing some Silver Run this weekend, and I will record that so you all can get a kick out of me trying to log. I do like the animations on this thing, though. You can't get... Oh, yeah, the belts are moving, aren't they? You can get side covers for those belts right there, but I thought, safety, come on. Who needs covers for moving belts? Let's see how this thing does. It's got a nice animation to it. Straw gets picked up. It's a pretty simple device. Much like a forage wagon, instead of going to a wagon, it just gets put into this nice big giant bucket. If I can stay on the windrow, we'll actually be able to pick up a little bit of straw. Oh, that thing's dusty. I like that. Leaving a nice trail behind. Not too shabby, actually. Not too shabby at all. I think I actually bumped up the capacity on this thing. There's a standard capacity, which I think is like 12,000 liters. And then there's the cheat capacity, which I believe is 20,000 liters. And I decided to make this thing a little more fun. We'll just go with the cheat capacity and see how it does. It doesn't have the fastest working speed in the world, as you can see. It's only 6 miles an hour. But it's something different. Instead of us always having to bale and pick up and bring over to the bale barn, we can just use this jobber around the farm to pick up. I think it does all the basic windrows: straw, grass, hay. I think that's... Yeah, I think anything... I don't know that it'll pick up like potatoes or sugar beets or anything like that. I think it's just designed for the loose, kind of baling material, I guess you would call it. In fact, let's just take a quick peek at that, because my curiosity... Okay, so yeah, grass, straw, hay... I always forget, is that forage? I think one of these is forage, right? And one of these is chaff or silage maybe, or something like that. Is that thing spinning? Oh my goodness, it is. That's pretty sweet. I didn't know it did that. That must just be that way to kind of keep it even in the bucket. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. I actually quite like this little mod. It's actually pretty cool. I don't think it's on the Giants mod hub. I could be wrong, but it seems like I didn't see it out there. So I think it was King Mods. I'll try and remember to leave a link to it in the description below. I could be wrong. It actually might be out on the Giants mod hub, but and we're full. Let's go see how well it dumps into our little into our bale barn. Looks like the M5 doesn't mind towing it around very much, does it? Very nice. So did a little updated graphics drivers again, and so we might get a little stutter out of the gameplay, but I think I've got her pretty well smoothed out, so we shouldn't see too much. But yeah, it seems like just when I start to get the map nice and smooth, NVIDIA releases an update, and I kind of like to stay current on graphics drivers. Look at that. That is pretty slick. Yeah, that's pretty slick, actually. I'm actually impressed with this little thing. Huh. Not very expensive either. I think it was, even with the wide tires, I think I paid, the most expensive thing on it was paying for the cheat, cheat capacity, if I remember correctly. I think that was the most expensive part of the deal. So I think it ended up being something in the neighborhood of like 17,000, because I think cheat was like $5,000. So you definitely pay quite a bit for the cheat capacity, but it just didn't seem like it would be. At 12,000 liters, we'd be filling it up a little bit more often than I guess for my taste, you know. Hope you all had a chance to check out Friday Kubota Farm and Thursday's Old Family Farm. Had a lot of fun on Old Family Farm. I really enjoy that map, and I always look forward to making episodes on the Old Family Farm for sure. It seems to inspire. It seems to just inspire me to get on some rants of something or another, or to, I don't know. It stimulates conversation, and maybe that's just the way, you know, the map is. It just makes me want to yap about something that's been on my mind, you know, kind of one of those things. But a lot of fun to play, no doubt. Let me turn this thing off so we can get back to our starting line up here and get going again. I did hear from a subscriber and a viewer that was looking to get a hold of the version with the ducks. I certainly hope, I won't name any names or anything, but I did hear that the map author on Old Family Farm may have recently lost their father, which is very sad to hear. I always, you know, think about how fortunate I am still to have my parents around still. And how difficult, you know, that must be to lose a mom or a dad. But, you know, it's nice that, you know, you have something, you know, we always have stuff to remember them by, no doubt. And, yeah, so I just thought that was kind of special. It makes me feel good about playing the map, and it makes me feel good that it is such a nice map and an important map to me personally, for a game that I really love. To have maps like that really bring back good memories, that's kind of special, you know. I can't really say that about you know, playing Left 4 Dead. Me and my kids played a lot of Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Still one of my favorite games of all time. I just don't think there's ever, at least in my book, I don't think there's ever going to be a zombie game that, for me personally, is ever going to beat Left 4 Dead. The characters were fantastic. The zombies they had on there, to me, were the best. Just a great game. And I bring that up just because, you know, I still, even though it's like certainly one of my favorite games of all time, my favorite zombie game of all time, I still don't have the type of memories, you know, for any maps on that game, the same kind of feel-good memories like I do for like Old Family Farm and a couple of other maps on Farming Simulator, you know, as you can imagine. So there is something special, certainly, about having those kind of memories, for sure. And I still have amazing memories about older versions of Farming Simulator. Speaking of, I was messing around a little bit before recording, just freeing up some disk space and moving a couple games around that I had on Steam. And one of them was Farming Simulator 15. And I loaded Farming Simulator 15. And I had completely forgotten about this, but the main loading screen on Farming Simulator 15 is logging. Which kind of makes sense, I guess, because if I remember right, that's the version that Giants introduced logging into Farming Simulator. And how much that has even changed since 15, So I've been looking out on the forums regarding the Platinum DLC or the Platinum Pack, trying to gauge the feedback, more or less, I guess, that people have towards it. Issues and things like that. I think there are a couple little bugs here and there that probably need to be worked out. Man, that has got. Can you imagine if we added that Dusty Lands mod onto this thing? We could be smoking out the entire county of East Vineland just picking up straw like this. Anyways, I've been kind of just trying to get a feel for the overall like or dislike, I guess, for Silver Run. And it is mixed. It's definitely mixed. There's like the, there's the people that are inspired to log, and Silver Run Forest and all the new equipment has kind of gotten them back into logging a little bit in the game, and of course there's still the group, there's still going to be a group of people that basically just think was kind of a waste of a major, a major DLC because it was so logging focused. Which I get to. I understand. I most definitely understand both opinions. I'm still on the fence a bit about that part of it. I think it's again just kind of interesting that Farming Simulator, the one big, because we don't get another one, right? I mean, that's it. That's the big one, the Platinum Pack. Now, I don't think there's another giant pack that comes out before the next version. We're gonna get more DLCs, but if I'm not mistaken, this was the big one that we get, the one with the map and all that other stuff, and it's logging. I mean, it really is. It's a logging map. I mean, there's what, 3 fields? I thought there were more fields, but I think there's only 3 for actual farming. I guess you could cut some timber and make your own fields if you wanted to, but it's a lot of hills, and it's not exactly, meant to be. I think I think they threw 3 fields on there just so that they had a reason to put it in Farming Simulator. So yeah, is that a statement from Giants, I mean, is that them saying, look, we're not afraid to, put things in this game that really aren't farming? And that's kind of, like I've discussed before, where I kind of wonder if we are going to see at some point more focus on things outside of farming. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But this thing is slow, though. Man, it just feels like 6 miles an hour feels slow, doesn't it? But I do like this little piece of equipment. I don't mind it. Sometimes, at least for me, it's not always about just getting the job done the fastest possible way. It's kind of enjoying the equipment that you use, doing it. And I can say that this piece of equipment here falls into that category where this is definitely not the fastest way to get this job done, but it's kind of enjoyable. And I can certainly imagine one of these things being homemade. You know, I don't know where you'd get this giant bin on the end, you know, but I could see some homemade type contraptions like this for sure. We could actually, now that I'm thinking about it, in fact, let's go ahead and just get this thing filled up, because we're just about there anyways. And we've got a pretty good head start. So we probably could just go ahead and grab another one of our Kubotas over there, throw a cultivator on the back side of it, and get cultivating this field while we're picking up the straws. I guess it's nothing against getting two things done at once, right? And before I started recording, I started looking at harvesting, or I'm sorry, harvesting, at planting and seeding. There's one crop I have not done yet in this game, like at all. Now, and I'm sorry, in this version of the game, I have done it in previous versions, but not this version yet, and that's poplar. And I got inspired, and I don't know why, but I did have an inspiration about maybe doing a poplar field on this farm. I don't know what you all think about that, but I kind of got inspired to do that. I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. Look at this little setup over here. I don't know what came over me, whether it was punishment for something or what, but I grabbed a potato harvesting contract. I mean, it's a good paying contract. 35 grand. So it's definitely not chump change, but it is a pretty good sized field of potatoes. But yeah, if we get bored enough, we'll we'll tackle that. But we're in no hurry to get that thing started. Priorities right now are, I would say, most certainly to get our fields prepped and get planted. So what do you all think about poplar? I don't know. I haven't done it in this game. I remember doing it before. It wasn't my most enjoyable thing I've ever done, but it's been a long time since I've planted poplar and done anything with poplar, and I thought, you know, that might be kind of fun to try something new, something different. I don't know if we'll do it this season. Go get him, Tiger. Thank you very much. I don't know if we'll do it this planting season or not. I know one of these fields I'd really like to get corn planted. We're going to have to pick up a corn head for our case. That's not a big deal. So I was thinking, you know, if we can get corn, and doesn't really matter much to me what other crop we throw down on the other fields. But yeah, poplar came to mind. If we do poplar, if we do decide on poplar, which I got to think this thing through a little bit. Maybe I'm being a little too hasty. It's going to have to be here in August. Otherwise, it's waiting all the way till March. So, yeah, something to consider. Is this crop calendar different than the standard? I'm just looking this. Maybe it's not. This looks the same, but I don't remember wheat, barley, and canola. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking of something different. But yeah, poplar we'd have to do here in August if we're going to do poplar. Otherwise, all we can do is canola this month. We'll have to wait till next month to throw down wheat or barley or canola. And then, of course, for corn, boy, yeah. I was looking at something wrong. Corn's not until April. I was looking at that wrong. I was thinking corn. I was getting my planting and harvesting times messed up. So, boy, corn's not until next April. So one of our fields is going to sit. We'd almost be better off at that point if we are going to plant corn. Instead of leaving a field empty, we'd be smart to just plant grass in it and at least get a good cutting of grass out of the field, right? And then put corn down after we get at least one good cut of grass. Unless my timing's wrong on that. I don't think it is. Seems like when I was on, it seems to me like when I was messing around on Elm Creek and doing a lot of grass work, if I remember right, it seemed to me like grass did not grow in the winter months. Like it stopped advancing growth stage wise. Does that sound familiar to anybody? I seem to remember that because at least I seem to remember that being the case. Sometimes I wonder if some things happen because of mods. I've run into situations before where I get convinced the game treats something a certain way, only to find out later that the only reason why the game was treating that particular thing that way was because of a mod conflict that was changing how the game was treating something. So yeah, that can always happen as well. In fact, I was thinking about that with this straw. I've got a mod. I've got two mods. One of them is allows for straw windrows from crops that you normally can't windrow straw. I forget what that mod is called, but you get the idea of at least what it does. And then the second mod that has to do with straw is the collect straw at missions mod, where you're allowed to collect straw at missions, so if you produce straw at missions, you can collect it and cash in on it, which to me makes sense because I don't know why you wouldn't do that in real life unless the farmer that you're doing the mission for wanted the straw. I would say you're not just going to leave it sitting there doing nothing, right? Good job, hired helper. Good job. You got to encourage the hired helper once in a while. They seem to work better. Speaking of working better, that reminds me of one thing that we should do. We've got a little cash, and I'm trying not to spend money frivolously. Oh man, the more I see this thing, the more. Look at the little lights down there. I just really like this little thing. But anyways, going back to the mod thing, and then we'll get back to the hired helper thing. Sometimes mods, I just get so used to having certain mods on all of my gameplays that I forget that they may actually change, either purposely or not purposely, the gameplay. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Now, the only reason I brought that up again was because with precision farming and then being able to spread straw to get nitrogen from it, I'm going to be curious if either one of those two straw mods that I have adversely impact that, if you know where I'm going with that. Then, going back to our hired helper doing a good job, we should probably consider picking up one of those, I don't even know what they're called anymore, those satellite building things. What are they under? They're those things that are supposed to make your hired workers work better with precision farming. You all know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? So buildings, is it sheds? Yeah, shed with RTX. It's, yeah, RTK base station. RTK base station. Productions building with what? With Photo Vault. What is that? Oh, it's got ah. Okay. Why do I have that? Huh. Is that from this map? So it's basically a shed with what do they call that? Solar panels. Solar panels. Or is this from the this bulk haul? Maybe this is this from the Platinum DLC? This is from the AGI pack, if I remember right, that came out, you know, with the silos. But this right here, I'm wondering if those, yeah, Platinum Expansion. It says right there, Brad. Open your good eye. Yeah, the AGI pack, Platinum Expansion pack. I haven't even looked at these. I actually kind of like that thing. But anyways, we could set down one of these little RTK base stations. It's my understanding that it doesn't matter which one you purchase. They both do the same thing. And it's also my understanding that one does it for the whole map. So this station provides your vehicles with a better GPS signal, helps your AI workers to drive more precise and do their work faster. I'm doubting it has anything good to do with courseplay, though, right? I'm assuming it does not impact courseplay in any way. Well, we'll remember to do that. We need to figure out a good place to just set that little shed up. I think, at least it's my understanding that you only need one for your entire map. You can set down more if you want, but one does the job. I don't think it's a, I don't think it's one of those deals where you have to have one and that it only counts for a certain distance. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I am, just leave me a comment and let me know that I'm not right about that. You never hurt my feelings correcting me. I will tell you that much right now. I'm not one of those people that gets all defensive and stuff about being corrected if I'm wrong, because that's the only way you learn, right? Is if you're corrected and told the right thing. Of course, there's also people out there that don't do the best job with you know, don't do the best job telling people the right way. I had a friend that was that probably fell into that a little bit, that was kind of didn't have the best approach when it came to correcting people. Let's just put it that way. Intentions were good, just the approach was a bit rough around the edges. Well, we almost have this straw pickup just about done. This is a nice chunk right here, isn't it? There you go. So let's just get this thing knocked out, and we can always grab another tractor and double up the prep on this field if we so choose. But yep, I really do like this little thing. This little, what's it, a PK.16. PK period 16. So yeah, I'll try and remember to leave a download, a link to the download in the description there in the video, so that if you're interested in it at all, you'll know where to find it. If it's not on Giants Hub especially, I am really trying to be very particular about that. I don't like giving people credit for mods that they don't deserve credit for. And there's a lot of people out there that unfortunately I've just never understood it. I've never understood why. Man, that was perfect. Did you see that? 100% right at the end of that row. I knew this little PK16 was good luck. But I've never understood that, why people want to take credit for something they don't do. I mean, I understand the idea behind it, you know, like, oh, you're getting credit for something, you know, makes you feel good. But at the end of the day, you didn't do it. So how do you feel good about it? Like, and that's taking away even the ethical side of it or the moral side of it. Just throw that out the door. Why would you feel good about getting credit for something you didn't do? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. And I'm not saying that to like give myself a pat in the back. I legitimately don't get it. And I legitimately have never understood the whole cheating thing either, like with games and stuff. Like, if you cheat to win, maybe it feels good to win, and that must be the overriding feel-good thing there, but nothing else counts. It's just like, you know, you didn't win, you cheated. So, I don't know. Just something I've never understood. My brain doesn't, and it's not because I'm this great person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. It's just I just don't get it, is what I'm saying. I just don't get it. There's a lot of things I don't get, though. You're used to hearing me say that. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you're used to me saying I don't get it. Just like I can't back things up. That's why I have a pull-through garage that I'm not using. All right, yeah. That's why I have a pull-through garage that I'm not using. Man, my steering wheel is woo giving me the wonks today. It's like all over the place. All right, let's pull this thing through and park it like, you know, the easy way. Can straighten it out just a touch. There we go. That was easy. That's the way to do it. Oh, and then the little M5 here can go back to its home. Hello, sheep. And just before I let you all go, we are going to go check on our sheep and our wool. You know, I can't have an episode without, yep, without saying hello to the sheep. Hey, sheep, what's going on? They're so cool. You guys are awesome. That's right. What's going on, Sean? You doing all right, buddy? Look at that right there, see? He's chilling. Just chilling. What? Yeah, good for nothing. How's our wool doing? Oh, there's our shovel. There's our shovel. Wool's doing pretty good. Let's toggle on super strength. Super strength. And it's not the way I wanted it though. That's the way I wanted it. Slide it in the skinny way. There we go. And we've even got, ooh, Brad, there you go. We've even got the simple way there. We'll just tuck this stuff up right in there, right? Something like that. That'll work. You keep filling up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 12 pallets of wool. Sheep are producing nicely. That's some money in the bank right there. But wool, again, is not until what? Oh, man, spring. All right. We have a little ways away to collect wool then, don't we? Before we sell it. Empty bunker. One more month out here in this field right here will be ready for another full cutting of grass if we want to. But yeah, let me know what you think about my plans here. So field 2, we were going to do corn, right? But since corn is not available to plant until April, and we're in August, we could plant grass, and we'll get one cutting at least. If we planted grass here in August, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we get a cutting. The part that I'm not completely sure about is the growth during the winter months. But I think it'll be worth trying. So I think that's what we should do, is at least use the field for grass. There's no point in leaving it empty. And I don't think there's any other crops that we can plant and have harvested in time to plant corn, if you know what I'm saying. So if we planted wheat or barley, then we can't harvest it until after. We might June, we might be able to do something there, but I'm just not entirely sure. So we get good money from grass, we might just do that and call it good. Let's go check on our AI helper here real quick. Make sure they're doing okay still. Oh yeah, they're just chucking through this field pretty good. Pretty good. And if we want to put down a PK station, I mean, we got plenty of room to do it. We can put it just about anywhere we want. I mean, we could even plop it, you know, right here. We're not going to use this. We're never going to use this really for anything. So should we just do it? What is it? 17537. Oh, and thank you, by the way, to wow, I never like to use names for people, but you know who you are because you leave a lot of comments, my friend. By the way, I'm also looking forward to another video on your channel. So I haven't seen a new video come up on your channel recently. But explain to me why. I was wondering why the sale prices change as you scooch it around. And he was kind enough to inform me that it's because of the you're paying for the what word am I looking for, the construction of it, the leveling of the ground, the landscape, you know, you know what I'm saying. So you get the idea. So my assumption would be then, if it's on a really flat surface, you're going to pay basically 17.5, and then any abnormalities in the level of the ground and maybe even what you're putting it on is where you pay that little extra amount. I think I have that correct. So yeah. There. Done. We've got a little RTK station. Spent a little bit of money on it, but supposedly it's, you know, it helps our little AI workers out. And yeah, I am gonna clean this up a little bit so it doesn't have this grass right there. I'll get that cleaned up though, but that looks all right. Fits in decent there. Nothing else there. We could even put a light post up or something around here if we want to. You know, maybe put a light pole up here, give it a little bit more. Oh, that's the satellite feed up there. Okay. Doesn't look like it really has any lights on it, so maybe we can add a nice little lighting. What do we have here for decoration and for lights? Not ground line. I was thinking more. Whoa, ho, 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 mama, that's a big. Wasn't thinking quite that. I was thinking more like something like this, you know, something that just kind of fits in nice. Just, in fact, just so it's straight. I hate crooked lights. I should have done this for the building. I didn't even think about it. What am I looking for? So it's Alt F5, Alt 6. Alt 6 is for 45 degrees. What other light posts? We got a nice light post like that. Single light post like that. A little bit bigger light post like that. It'd be nice to be able to see a little bit more like how much light. Don't need a floodlight. That's not really what I had in mind. I just kind of had something a little bit more simple in mind, just to kind of light it up. Something like that. Just to give it a little something, something, you know? All right. So, yeah, we'll see how the AI does now. I don't know. I'm curious. Supposedly it makes them go a little, it says, it says that they're supposed to work a little faster and work more accurately, right? So, my guess has always been, and try to follow me on this because I don't know if I'm going to explain it very well because sometimes I have trouble explaining things this way, but you know how when you watch, especially on a harvester, when you watch the harvester, the AI harvesting your field, in one direction it looks like they've got the full width of the header, right? But then in the other direction it looks like they're missing about 3 feet of the head. My guess is that helps correct that, maybe? It helps them utilize the full width of the machinery and the harvester and whatnot. I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know what they mean by accuracy other than that would be what I would imagine they mean, but maybe I'm wrong. I remember seeing a couple things on videos, YouTube videos about that, but it seemed like it was kind of speculation, much like I am as well, and I don't know if anybody's ever really been able to show quantifiably. Yeah, it's a big word. I know. That's all I got, though. that's all I got for the rest of the day is quantifiably showing, you know, what exactly that those RTK stations do. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to how fast the hired worker here was going. I don't know if this dude was going 11 miles an hour before, or if you gain like a half a mile an hour, maybe, you know. I don't know. Just curious. If any of you know, and if any of you know for sure and have actually seen benefits from the RTK stations, I would love to hear about it. And also, if you can confirm that you only need one per map, I'd like to hear about that as well. That's my understanding. You only need one per map, but maybe I am mistaken on that as well. But there's a lot of things we can do on this farm. I've got a lot of plans for this farm. Just depends on how long we want to stay on Kubota farm. Pretty much an endless supply of ideas on what we can do here. I mean, we've just scratched the surface. There's still a lot of animal production we can do. You know, there's bees and all kinds of things, and then of course there's all the production facilities that we haven't even tapped into yet. I am still totally open to do a really big potato production here in East Vineland, and use the you know, the potato mod to really make this a really big potato production farm. We can do that. So there's all kinds of things we can do. So if you have any ideas or things you want to see, definitely leave them in the comments below. Also leave a like if you wouldn't mind, and if you enjoyed the video, of course. If you didn't, you know, you certainly don't have to leave a like, but if you don't like the video, let me know why you didn't like it too. Like I said, I'm not one that takes things too personally, so I'm always open to constructive criticism as well. But this will do it for the Saturday morning version, or episode, I should say, of Kubota Farm. You know, maybe when we were kids we watched cartoons. Well, now that we're older, maybe we watch Farming Simulator Saturday mornings. I do, at least most Saturdays, it seems like. And I'm going to go ahead and let our friend here finish up cultivating this field, and then when we get together next, we will I guess basically finalize plans on what we want to do for planting and seeding, get that taken care of, and then if we're really I guess have a lot of energy in us and feel like doing something special, we can, where is it, there it is, we can attack the old potato contract. I don't know why I took this contract. I think seeing 35 grand got the better of me, and I'm like, oh, 35,000 would be nice. And I do like running this big Grimmy, though. This machine, yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, now I'm just babbling at this point. not really saying anything new, anything you guys all need to hear. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. If you've made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate your patience and putting up with me once again. Thanks for watching, and it means a lot to me. And thanks for all your comments. And certainly, if you subscribe to the channel, you absolutely make my day when I get those emails from a new subscriber. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the kindness you all have shown me for this baby channel just starting out here on YouTube. So I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Have a really safe and hopefully a fun and relaxing Saturday and Sunday if I don't see you Sunday. I do plan on having, like I said, some Silver Run footage, so you'll probably see that Sunday morning. So if you're interested at all, like I said, in watching somebody make a fool out of themselves doing logging, you may very well want to catch up. You may want to catch my video out there on Silver Run. But take care of yourselves. Most importantly, let's take care of each other. That's what it's all about. God bless, and I will see you all real soon.